in this video, I want to talk about the way I always heard it pronounced was transference and counter-transference, but these days it's transference and counter-transference. And this is basically, I'll give examples of them. It's easier to define that way, I think. Okay, now for many, many years, all I ever heard about relationships, and, you know, they said that, they say a lot, but was that when a person gets into a relationship, you know, after they're, you know, when they're an adult, they get into the relationship so they can correct the problem they had with one of their parents, whichever parent it was, so they can correct it, so they can fix it, you know, they can make the changes they couldn't when they were, you know, that child. Okay, I had somebody following me and there was bumps and what was I going to go faster? Anyway, but it's one of the things that bothered me, always hearing that about relationships was, you know, people got into relationships to correct the one from the parent. There's more, there had to be more to it than that. Okay, but yes, that would be an example of transference. Okay, you transfer onto somebody else the emotions and feelings that you know, the feelings that are problems that you had with somebody from your past. And you try to work them out. Now, that would be a terrible way to have a relationship, in my view, because you're not seeing the person that you're with, you're seeing somebody from the past. And the person you're with is different. And I have known people who had a lot of trouble in their relationships, you know, different people, and whatever relationship they were in, because the other, you know, one of the partners was doing that. Okay, and in one in particular, it was a never-ending cycle. This guy had married several times, or not even married, some of them weren't even marriages. But each, you know, the one I knew was the wife, the last wife. And he would do that. Whatever trouble he had, he assumed she would do the same thing. And that she was doing the same thing, even when she was not. So that's when it's transferred. Now, people can also do that, you know, say people like me who do videos on, you know, relationships and stuff. They can see, you know, like if they, you know, had something they wanted to work out, they're going to think that I would help them to work it out. Well, that might not make so much sense. Okay, let me try to put that a different way. Say they had a relationship with somebody like that was, say somebody who was narcissistic, and the emotions that they actually had thought when this person was love bombing them and stuff like that, they would feel, you know, all that love and everything. Then when they would find out that, you know, the person wasn't real, you know, this was just a game for them to reel them in and everything, they would take the feelings, the good feelings that they had for that person and transfer it to somebody else, you know, that had that kind of the real kind of good emotions. You know, and it can be anybody say somebody who does videos on, you know, this kind of thing. They would say, oh, this person is a real loving and caring person, so they would get attached to that person in that way for that reason. Does that make sense? So, yeah. Okay, and that's something to watch out for, you know, on both sides, really. That somebody's not getting too attached, or you're not getting too attached to somebody that is not in your, you know, face-to-face world. But there's another one, that's the counter-transference. I still can't say it that way. I can't say it right. But that is when the person who's, you know, say a counselor, this actually happened to me. You know, say a counselor puts on their client, some people call them patients, but their client, the emotions they had from their past. can be for someone or something. For me, it was something. Okay, and I think I mentioned this one before, but for me, I went to see a career counselor. She was a career counselor, and she's my age, and she was an LPC, and licensed professional counselor, and the things that I thought we would talk about, I said, okay, maybe she just, she was talking about something else. And I thought maybe she's just trying a different way, to go about this and find out what's going on with me and everything. But you do want to build some rapport with the person, so I thought maybe she was trying this. But she had grown up in a small town, and I grew up in a large town. And she immediately bonded with me on that we both grew up in a town, and not the same town, of course. But some of the attitudes and all were similar. They were both in Texas, this kind of thing. And I saw her, too many times. I don't remember how many, but I got the feeling we're not going in the direction I was wanting, to go to a career counselor for. Instead, I started feeling like I was counseling her. That really bothered me. Okay, and basically, I wasn't getting anywhere closer to what was my goal. So, and more I saw she was doing this counter-transference bit with me, and so I ended it. I just didn't go, said I wasn't going to go back. Well, she started calling me and calling me and calling me, and begging me to come back, asking me why I wasn't. And finally I had to tell her one day, and it was a bad time when she called at one time. Something was going on, and I told her, don't call me back. I don't want to, don't want your service, to go to you anymore. So she left me alone after that. But it really left a bad feeling in me, how somebody can transfer onto you, somebody who's supposed to be helping you, but they transfer it onto you, all their emotions and feelings. And hers was from where she was. She hadn't worked everything out. She had grown up in this small town, and now she was living in Dallas and working in Dallas. And that's a big city. And her insecurities from having done so, she hadn't worked through those. The way people treated her because they knew where she was, grew up. And I didn't recognize her having an accent. I know I have an accent. It comes and goes, gets thicker at times, especially when I think about people from my old hometown. But she hadn't worked through those, and what she was doing with me was trying to work through those, and that was not my purpose to be there. Okay, I was not, I'm not such a martyr for a cause, and it wasn't helping me to achieve any goals. Yeah. Okay, but that's just been on my mind lately, so I thought I'd do a little video on it. And it's something that happened back in 2001 to me. So, and one of the reasons it's come up is I've seen people that get very attached to people who do videos, okay, on topic like narcissism or codependency, anything like that, and it's like it's counterproductive, to get that attachment when those kinds of feelings should be put on somebody who's you're gaining a relationship with, you're developing a relationship with. And I'm not sure how many people really understand that and recognize it. Anyway, just my view. I'm not a counselor or any kind of mental or physical healthcare professional, so read the disclaimer below this video on YouTube. Anyway, that's enough for this. If you want to subscribe, click the circle. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click one of the rectangles. If you want to share on your own social media, feel free to do so. And if you can, give it a thumbs up. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.